Alrighty, so when we are trying to use the term substitution, we have to look for something that we can replace. So when we have a system of equations, remember we have two different functions that we are using. We have this top one and the bottom one. We have to use both of them together at the same time to come to our final answer. So I'm going to use this bottom one because the bottom one tells me that y is equal to all of this, right? The bottom one says y is equal to negative 7x plus 24. So that means when I see y in my top line, I can replace y with all of this stuff. So we have negative x minus 4, and instead of y, I'm going to put a blank space. Everything else I'm going to write exactly the same way. So I have the negative x minus 4, space, 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 equals negative 15. And then I'm going to go in and replace wherever it said y, I'm going to replace it with negative 7x plus 24. And then my next step is to distribute my negative 4. Let me write that a little bit neater. I'm going to take my negative 4 and distribute it into all of the terms that are inside my parentheses. So I have negative x, that part stays the same. Negative times negative is positive, so I'm going to have plus 4 times 7 is 28 x, and then negative 4 times positive 24 gives me positive, oh, let me do that again. 4 times 24 is equal to 96, and that whole thing is equal to negative 15. And then here we're going to do combining like terms. I have negative 1x plus 28, so that's going to give me 27x minus 96 is equal to negative 15. And I have plus 96 all over. 27x stays the same. This cancels out. And then I'm left with 81. And then I'm going to do 81 divided by 27. And then I get x is equal to 3. And this part I did in my calculator. I didn't do this part in my head. And I end up with x is equal to 3. That is part of my final answer, so I'm just going to put that in a box, but this is not my complete final answer, right? When we have a system of equations, we have an x and a y, so my final answer should have an x and a y. So I'm going to go back into one of my equations. I'm going to choose the second one because my y is already by itself. So I have y is equal to negative 7x plus 24. I just rewrote it. And instead of x, I'm going to put a space and replace x with 3, right? Because x is equal to 3. So I get y is equal to negative 7 times 3 to get negative 21 plus 24, and y is equal to 3 as well. So this is also going to be part of my final answer. You can write it this way, but remember if I ask you to, I didn't ask you here, but if I ask you to write it as an ordered pair, your answer would look like this, right? Just like we did the graphing in numbers 1 and 2. Anytime you have a system of equations, you should have x, comma, y.